Tine and the Faraway Mountain. Today is a big day for Tine Mena. At the age of 25, she has become the first woman from northeast India to climb Mount Everest. At 8,848 meters, Everest is the highest mountain in the world. This is the story of Tine's journey, a girl who loves to climb mountains. Whooshu, whooshu! In the Mishmi Hills of Arunachal Pradesh, a girl named Tine heard a wonderful call from the distant mountains. She was drawn to it, a sound that only she could hear. Tine loved to climb. She climbed the trees in the forest and was known to be a determined girl. When she fell down, her father would tell her to get up and carry on. This taught her to never give up easily. Tine thought that she had a beautiful life. She and her younger sister Soni loved eating apples, oranges, and berries from the forest. They spent long days lying under the sun. However, Tine's world would turn upside down one day. There was no school in Italy, so when it was time for her to go to school, her family moved to the closest big town, Roing. In Roing, Tine could only hear the whisper "Whooshu" faintly. 10 years passed, and Tine finished school. Soon the sound "Whooshu" started to grow louder in Tine's mind, as she realized that it was time for her to go back to the mountains. She applied to be a porter so that she could be closer to the mountains. The job required the person to carry a heavy load of clothes and equipment on an army expedition. But there was one small problem. Women were not allowed to be porters. Tine, however, was not going to take no for an answer. She disguised herself as a boy and started working. She would carry nearly 25 kilos every day. It took a week for everyone to realize that she was a girl dressed as a boy. Tine was scolded for breaking the rules. But she could work as much as the boys and knew the route better than anyone. So the officers allowed her to continue working. Her act later helped lift the ban on female porters. Tine worked hard and became an expedition coordinator, someone who plans mountain trips. That is when she met Dr. Romeo Mattei.
I must say that you have all the makings of a naturally gifted climber.
He said,
You have the build, the strength, and the perseverance. Now, all you need is technique.
Dr. Mattei became Tine's teacher and began training her in professional mountain climbing. One day, Tine watched The Race for Everest, a film about the first climb to the top of Mount Everest. The sound "whooshu" suddenly became a roar in Tine's mind. Almost instantly, climbing Mount Everest became her dream. Tine left for Nepal to travel to the Everest base camp, where she had to go through difficult training. After her training, Tine began her climb to Mount Everest with a woman named Chering Sherpa. The Sherpas are an ethnic group living in high Himalayan regions who are known for their climbing skills. They wear long-sleeved robes to keep themselves warm. Tine and Chering Sherpa divided the climb into 4 stages so that they could rest at different camping points and continue to the top over a few days. By the time they reached the second camp, the weather had become worse, but the musical whooshuing was growing louder and louder in Tine's mind. "Do you want to go ahead?" Chering Shapa asked. I don't think I will get another opportunity to do this, Tine said in a low but strong voice. They reached the final camp at last, but the wind blew their tent and supplies away. They found another tent in which they took shelter. No walkie-talkies, no medicines. All Tine and Chering Shapa had was a packet of noodles. Let's share half of it, Chering Shapa suggested. If we make it out alive, we will eat the other half, Tine said with a huge smile. For every 2 steps they took, the wind forced them to take a step back. But Tine did not let this stop her. All she could hear was the familiar sound, whooshu. At 10:45 a.m. on 9th May 2011, Tine reached the summit of the highest mountain in the world. The young girl who loved to climb trees had climbed to the top of the world. She had found her faraway mountain and was one with the sound that had called her all her life. Whooshu! She danced with her beloved mountain.